Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this video, we're going to be telling you the top 10 things you absolutely need to do on a swinger cruise.
So stay tuned. We're the Traveling Swingers.
We are on our last day on a swinger cruise.
No, it's bittersweet.
Yes, but we have learned so much.
Yes, even seasoned swingers can learn something on a cruise.
Yes, and we do realize that there are a lot of people that this is going to be their first time on a cruise. They're watching this video, they're a little nervous, they're a little excited.
Yeah.
They don't know what to make of something that will have potentially thousands of people in one event, and they just don't know how to deal with all that, or what they need to do, or what they need to bring, or what they need to be aware of, because it is unusual if you've never been on an event this big. So let's just kind of start out.
All right.
Let's start with number 10, meet and greets.
Yes, meet and greets. A fabulous way to get to know your fellow passengers, everybody on the ship.
Yeah, every day, practically all day long, are meet and greets for just about every type of swinger there is imaginable. Under 45 meet and greets, over 45 meet and greets,
Hall pass
meet and greets,
French.
full swaps, soft swap, French meet and greets,
sober,
Canadian meet and greets, etc., 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 etc. And there are just so much that you can go to, quite a few of them. You know, have something, you look at the schedule, decide what you're going to do for the day, and go to as many as possible, because you're going to meet a lot of people. And these cruises have lots of people on them, so you want to meet as many as you possibly can to see who you're going to connect with, and a meet and greet is a perfect way to do that.
Absolutely.
Number 9, speed dating.
Yes, how much fun is speed dating? So speed dating on a cruise ship, you're coupled up, so he and I would be dating, talking to people across from us. And it was very organized this time. There were quite a few of them. They had 6 of them on this cruise. But again, another great way to meet couples. You have 3 minutes to talk to them, so you can see if there's any kind of sparks flying during that conversation, and hand them a card, get their digits, and give them a call and have dinner with them.
Yeah, it's interesting, because they actually had a way set up this time that they say, with 3 minutes, you only really have so much time to say, hey, how long have you been in lifestyle, and what are you into?
Right.
And to see if there's actually more of an interest to have conversation that goes further. So
which is helpful too, because we did talk to people that are only soft swap, and so for us it's like, okay, well, we're not necessarily into that, so it was good to meet you, but we're going to move on to the next person. You're not stuck like having that dance that if you meet someone at a bar and you're like, hello, how are you,
and you flirt for an hour,
flirt forever, and then finally it comes down to it and you're like, okay, and not that you feel like you wasted that time with them, but you did. I mean, it's hard to say you wasted time with them when you're having an enjoyable conversation. Yeah. So I don't ever feel like I'm wasting time when I meet people that I will not have sex with, because I'm still enjoying the moment. But when you're on the prowl, you're on the prowl.
That's right. If you are incompatible sexually, based on what you're interested in,
it's good to know that right away.
Because, again, there are so many people on this boat that you don't want to, if your goal is to just get laid as much as you possibly can, you don't want to spend the time with someone that you just have no idea if you'll even get to that point. So why should you continue flirting that way? It's great to make friends, but there's a time and a place, and all of that. So speed dating is wonderful. We recommend it. We went to it, like I said, 2 out of the 6 times that they did it on this cruise, but we could have done it more, although it is very exhausting.
Yeah. There were so many people, it lasted an hour and a half.
An hour and a half each time, and you're just, talking as quickly as you can, saying basically the same things.
Over and over again, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good idea, and you do meet a lot of people in a short period of time.
Absolutely.
Number 8. Try something new.
Ooh, what did you try new?
Well, trying something new is kind of a broad spectrum. And having an open mind to try something new on these cruises is just something that we recommended to everyone.
Yeah, whether it's the escargot.
That's right. Whether it's a food that you've never had at home, and escargot is a great example.
I know.
I equate escargot to anal sex. I can't have it at home, so I'm going to have it here.
totally true. You have had escargot at home before, but you've not had anal well with me. I don't know.
And that's why we come on these lifestyle cruises.
Escargot or ass you want here. Get your fill, baby.
Okay. And that's why we're here.
Right.
So you can try things new, try something new. That's where we're going at. But
Yes.
but whether it's some sort of new food, of course, but it's also having an open mind to just being open to things.
New experiences.
If you have a fantasy that you've always kind of had in the back of your head, and you said, hey, Bianca saying, hey, I've always wanted to have a gangbang with 50 guys, then...
I had like 5 of them. No, I'm kidding.
But it's something that she might not be able to do at home, so this is the perfect time to see if she can kind of fulfill that fantasy, whatever that fantasy might be.
Right.
And we do talk to a lot of people that have specific fantasies that either are afraid to try at home or it's just not logistically possible.
Yeah.
So they will try to make it happen here, and that's really nice. Whether it's having a group situation or their first threesome or whatever it might be, there are possibilities from beginner swingers to people that have been doing this for decades to try something new.
I think our first full swap, separate room, was on a cruise.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And
that was something new, and that's something we enjoy and we continue to do. So that worked out.
But we
for
wouldn't
us.
have done it if it weren't for trying something new on a cruise.
Right. Go us.
And that leads us right into number 7. Come in with no expectations.
Good one.
This is really, really important. We actually just finished a conversation with a couple that we just ran into at a restaurant. And they were a little bit disappointed in the cruise because they had very high expectations. They were also new to the lifestyle. And this is something that people who are new, including us when we were new, tend to run into. Our first couple of cruises, we were like, we're going to get laid every day. We're going to have
like
sex.
4 times a day.
We're going to have sex as much as we possibly can, connect with as many couples as we possibly can to have sex with them because we're on vacation. That's the goal, that's the goal, that's the goal. And things happen or don't happen.
Yeah.
And, if you're flirting with this couple and suddenly they go off with someone else, you can feel upset, you can feel hurt, you can feel jealous, etc., and you don't want that to happen.
No.
And so if you just kind of come in,
well, and there can be a million reasons as to why that hookup didn't happen.
and it could have been you, it could have been them, it could have been a million other things, it could have been just timing.
Yep.
Could have been timing, and you, if you come in with this, we need to do this, then you're going to be disappointed.
Correct.
But if you come in with no expectations and things just kind of happen organically, you still should be trying. I don't think you just hide back in your room and hope for somebody to knock on the door and say, "Hey, can we have sex with you?" That's probably not going to happen. You got to put yourself out there.
Right.
But that's generally all you should do is put yourself out there. We like to just kind of let things happen. Right before this cruise, 2 days before this cruise, we had a conversation and we're very excited about. We hadn't done one of these in a long time, and we said we're excited about the possibilities of whatever this adventure may bring. We've been on cruises where we haven't had sex with anyone, and we've been on cruises where we've had sex with a lot of people, and we've been on cruises where we have connected with a couple over and over again, and we're practically a polyquad going out of here after the week, and those are like the best. But if our goal was any one of those things, I guess it's easy to not have sex with anybody, but if our goal were to connect so hard with a couple and it doesn't happen, we would be disappointed.
Right.
And that's not a good feeling to have, because then you'll be like, I don't know if I want to do one of these again. And that's where that couple was thinking. They're like, we didn't play with too many people. We played a little bit, but we were disappointed. We felt a little jealous here and there. And they weren't sure if they were going to come back. And I said, if you came back to another cruise, another lifestyle cruise, and you didn't want to play with anybody, you just said, you know what, I'm not going to play with anybody. We are going to just connect by having conversations. We're just going to have conversations with everybody. Would you come back? And they thought about it, and they're like, yeah, absolutely, we would do that, because lifestyle people are the greatest people in the world. You could talk to any couple, whether you're physically attracted or not. It doesn't even matter. They're like fascinating and friendly, and everybody's got a cool story. And if you have to choose between a lifestyle cruise and a vanilla cruise, you would choose a lifestyle cruise hands down every single time, because after you've done one of these, you'll find that vanilla cruises are very boring, as people, generally...
No one wants to talk to you. No one wants to have conversations. They don't want to, you sit at dinner with people. We will oftentimes just go go sit at a dinner table with just random people we've never met before and have a great, fantastic conversation. But on a vanilla cruise, we've done that before, and everybody just talks to their spouse. They don't involve the entire group. Even in the elevators, we'll have great conversations with people for those 2 floors. And you get on a vanilla cruise, and
everybody's looking at the wall.
Look at you. They just look anywhere else but you.
Yeah. So if you come in with no expectations and you still put yourself out there, you're going to have a good time, and just kind of let the week happen, whatever's going to happen. That's what we've kind of evolved into over the years, and because of that, we had an amazing cruise.
Absolutely.
Had an amazing cruise, and we played and we didn't play, and it was all good.
It was great.
All good.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we strongly recommend.
Yes.
Number 6, hand out slut cards.
Yes.
So this is a slut card. Okay, this one here is ours that we printed up for this this trip, Matt and Bianca. And basically all that is just kind of a great way to connect further. Okay, so this specific cruise has something, I don't know, thousands of people on it. It's so big that if you happen to walk by someone in the hallway or at an event early on and you make this great connection with them and you're like, oh my God, we're all gonna just have this crazy wild time together, but you do not get each other's information, the odds are very strong that you will never see them again, and all 4 of you will be totally disappointed because you wanted to have sex with them and you just didn't have sex with them. So, make slut cards, and all it is basically go online, go to a simple online print shop, put your name, your photos, because if you don't put your photos of your face, that's all that matters, photos of your face. If it doesn't have your face on them, a few minutes later, someone's going to go, Matt and Bianca, who was that? We talked to so many people, I have no idea who that was.
And they'll probably throw it away.
And it's like, you don't want that.
No.
You don't want that. So.
Well, the other thing, too, is some people have said that they'll just write their information down on a blank piece of paper or whatever, but you don't always have a pen on you. So I heard that a lot. A lot of people saying that they didn't put photos on, or they're like, I figured I'd take notes on the back, like, these people were really sexy, but you don't always have time to write notes real quick, and you don't have time to or you may not necessarily have a pen on you. So having information on there, even we saw some people who had more information on there, were a full swap couple, same room couple, whatever. Like, put some of your information on there. There's nothing wrong with that. That might help jog the memory of the person who took your card.
Sure. And of course also have all your contact information for when you get off the boat, whether it's your online website connections, your Facebook account, whatever it might be, and so that they can do that. Now, here's a couple of advanced tricks for you, and this is really, really important. This first one, which is, of course, your cabin number. Okay, so we generally will print out, because it's cheap to print out business cards, we print out 250, which is way too many for one event. So
no, that attitude.
That's true. I think the first one we're like 250. I hope that'll be enough, but realistically, it's way too much. So what we'll do is we won't actually have our cabin number printed on it. We will just, for the event that we're at, or whether it's a cruise or it's a lifestyle takeover somewhere else, we'll just put our room number on the back. We'll just write on the back. We'll do that on let's say 100 of them, and that will be enough to cover it. If we need more, we can write down more. Another thing that we really strongly recommend on the back of the cards is to write some sort of place and time to connect with people. What we did this time is we actually put 6 p.m. at the Irish pub. And basically we were just telling everybody, hey, we're going to be at 6 p.m. at the Irish pub every single day of the cruise. So if you want to come and find us without actually calling our room or knocking on our door, we'll be there every day if you want to say hi, or if you want to go to dinner or whatever it might be, and bring your friends. Tell other people the same thing. And so people just kind of find this way to congregate with each other and find connections to go to dinner, and then whatever happens after dinner.
Right.
Really good idea. Strongly recommend that.
Absolutely.
Number 5, seminars. There are a lot of seminars on these cruises, and I highly recommend that you go to a lot of them.
Check out the ones that you might be interested in. There could be some for open relationships, polyamorous relationships, consent. There were some on consent. There could be some on BDSM, spanking 101, that kind of stuff. So definitely check the calendar and see what you might be interested in, and have an open mind. Maybe go to something you don't think you'll be interested in. Take that hour to learn something new.
Yeah,
you never know.
And it might just be fascinating. It's not your jam. Like, actually, we were on a cruise not long ago, and I went to a zap your partner one, and they were actually using electricity, and this woman was electrified, and you just kind of touched her, and it was like, this is kind of weird. Wasn't my jam, but people were loving it. So,
right.
And it was interesting, and I would have never ever even heard of it unless I went to this seminar, right, just about just different ways that you can use touch to have sexual
but
play.
You don't know, you might have been into it.
That's right.
So it's great to keep an open mind and just learn different things.
And there are seminars about how to close the deal, and how to talk to people when you don't know how to communicate in lifestyle because you're new. There's just so much that you can learn. And the great ways to learn them, of course, watch our videos is another way to do it, because we have 150 of these things out there on the internet. So make sure you do subscribe, of course, and subscribe to all 3 of our channels, which are listed below in the description. So please do that,
right.
And go to as many seminars as you possibly can, right, on a cruise. Number 4, dress in themes.
Yeah, theme nights are really fun, and you don't have to dress in the theme, and you can go as crazy or as little as you want to, you know. Fetish night was one theme, and some people were really dressed like in fetish, whatever, leather was everywhere, and studs, and all sorts of really cool stuff. Or like me, I just wore a black like leathery dress.
Yeah, so every night of the cruise is a different theme, and basically they just say, hey, if you would like to dress up in this theme, then please do. Probably, I would say it's 50-50 in any crowd.
It depends on what night it is, what the theme is. But we've had people who I told them, you know, sometimes for the theme I just dress the color. You know, like for Mardi Gras, I might just wear a green dress or a blue dress or something that's similar colors. But I don't personally want to bring costumes and dinner. Like, I don't want to go change my outfit 4 or 5 times a day.
But some people do.
Some people love that, and then that's perfect for them, that they can wear a dinner dress and then go back to the room, change into something a little bit different and more costume-like for the evening. So that's great. But there were people who were thanking me for saying, you know, I appreciate that you told me about this, because then I was able to just bring a dress for this night, and that was all I needed. There were also body painters on the ship. So if you didn't bring a theme and you wanted to dress for that theme, or you just wanted to get body painted and you want to pick a cool night, like, you could do that as well. It's just get your entire body painted and then walk around naked all night.
Should only women dress in theme nights?
Absolutely not. I think it's fantastic when the guys dress up and participate.
Okay, so also men do it.
Yeah, especially on tuxedo night. I saw a lot of tuxedos on the Fancy Sparkle night. It was great.
Yeah, Bianca has a thing for tuxedos.
Yes.
So if you happen to see us on a cruise and you're in a tuxedo, come say hi to Bianca. She'll like it. She'll give you an extra hug.
Yes.
Yeah. She will. So yes, theme nights are something that if you love to dress up, please do. Number 3, see a show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there are always lots and lots of shows on cruises, whether it's a lifestyle or a vanilla cruise, and sometimes they overlap. Sometimes even the vanilla events will actually turn it into a kind of a spicier version. Even the cruise directors will start to say adult jokes and start to say things that they definitely would not say when there are kids around on one of these things. So and the comedians who will kind of switch things up, and they'll put a bunch of swinger jokes in there that will actually, you know, because they don't really get this audience very often, so they like to try new material that actually works out pretty funny, and it's just always entertaining to watch. And oftentimes on these ships as well, they will have specific entertainment dedicated to this audience, whether it's some sort of burlesque event or some sort of striptease or pole dancing or whatever it might be, to entertain lifestyle people, our crowd. So definitely see some shows.
Well, and there's many different levels of shows as well. I feel like they do a good job of making sure all the bases are covered, from, you know, Broadway type show. I heard that there's going to be like an ice skating show tonight. You know, just a lot of different things. Or there's even like karaoke, where you can just go and watch other people put on a show, where you get up and be part of it.
I'll do karaoke.
I know you'll do karaoke. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that there are many different events that you can choose from, and depending on who you've met, if you two aren't into the same kind of show, hopefully you've met other people that feel the same way, and you can go see 2 different shows.
Yep.
That's a possibility as well. So.
Number 2, book your next trip. This is an important one, because once you've actually been on a lifestyle cruise or any lifestyle event, really, you're going to, first of all, you're going to love it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to want to book your next one. And what's nice about events like these cruises is in the promenade every single day, all the travel agents are out there and they're all vying for your next trip. They're vying for your next money. So don't necessarily be closed of this is the travel agent I always work with, this is the only one I want to work with, because every single one of the lifestyle travel agents have different events. We specifically, we always recommend swingeropenpoly.com, which is the sponsor of this video, because they do certain events that are different than other lifestyle events. Yeah, you can book cruises like this one through them, and that's perfectly fine. But they also do, we went on a trip a couple years ago. We went to France. It was a private event for only 20 couples. There's lots and lots of trips, and there's lots of travel agencies. So you want to actually talk to each individual one and say, hey, what are your future trips? And they'll have these little private ones, and they'll have big ones that you might not have heard of. So
right, and that's a nice thing too, is finding out what different trips are available that works for your schedule, and that might be something totally different that you never thought you would try.
And as an extra bonus, oftentimes if you book at this cruise or any event, they will give you some sort of discount or some sort of special promotion to book right now, and put a small deposit up or something along those lines to get into that, so that no one else takes your room, and you get an extra special deal too.
Right.
So you
but the main thing though is sometimes a lot of these things do sell out.
Yep.
So making sure that you snag that ticket before it's gone, that's important.
Yeah, because actually this cruise we booked 2.5 years ago, and it sold out pretty darn quick. So it's always a good idea to book as early as possible.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to number one.
Number one. What's number one, Matt?
The one you've been waiting for. Playing with others. Play with others, yes.
Oh, really?
Have the sex.
The sex.
Yeah.
Have all the sex.
When it comes down to it, people are in the lifestyle for a pretty darn good reason, and that is to play with other people.
Right.
And
in whatever capacity that means for you.
And what we talked about earlier about having an open mind as far as, being adventurous and being excited about the possibilities of what can happen, you do want to play with others. And that's what we love to do, and that's what we seem to find other people want to do too.
Right.
So on these cruises, they actually have a lot of really good ways to do it. On one hand, you have the playrooms. This event, they have a big solarium that they kind of converted into a giant play area, 2 stories. You could actually have sex with others in a group situation or just as a couple.
Watch. They had hot tubs in there.
And it was right above the water, so you could actually see
beautiful.
the ocean as you were having sex.
Yeah.
So that was a super awesome way to have sex on a cruise ship. Also, we love the playrooms, but we also like to bring people back to our rooms.
Yes.
And rooms are a great way to do it, where you get a little bit more privacy. You don't necessarily feel rushed.
Right.
Which is, it was sometimes a factor with playrooms. When they do get really crowded, oftentimes you're going with another couple and we're going to go play, and you can't find a bed.
Right.
And so you're just kind of just waiting. You stand above another group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're almost finished.
They look like they're, But then the problem is on the other side, when you're playing there, is you can't have that time where sometimes if, things aren't working properly, you can sit chit-chat, or you finish earlier and you want to just kind of chat for a little bit, and then maybe you get a little second wind going and you go at it again. It's difficult in a playroom because there's so many people trying to get in there. So that's kind of where we started going into our own room.
And that's what we prefer, but the nice thing is there's lots and lots of places to do it. Just follow the rules and have lots of sex. Yes. So that is, of course, our number one thing that you absolutely need to do on a swinger cruise. Yes. Now, is there anything that we forgot?
Good question. What did we forget?
Is there anything on this list that you think, Matt, Bianca, you did not say that, and that's a blatantly obvious one? Or is there something that isn't as obvious that you're like, we need to do this, and we love to do this on every single cruise?
Right.
Or someone recommended this to us, and what are your thoughts on that? Please, please, please write that in the comments below. We do read every single one. We try to respond to every single one, so please do that. And let us know what you think. If you think this list was terrible, or you think it was great, please also let us know.
Sure.
All right. And is there anything else you want to say?
No. I think I'm good. I need a cocktail.
You need a cocktail? Well, Before we finish, we do want to make sure that you do like and subscribe and click the little bell button. And we do have a couple other channels that are in the description below. Feel free to follow them as well.
Yeah.
And
We'll see you on the next trip.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
This is a good one too, because whence forsooth.
Someday we're gonna have a blooper reel. Once.